Hey guys, welcome. Today we'll be trying to do some, just trying to show you how to use Slicer. And this is actually a supermarket data set that I cleaned, and this data set contains just a little below 1000 rows of data, which is 975 rows of data. So I just want to show you how to use the slicer, and it's super perfect. You can use the slicer for a lot of things. I mean, you can use it to control several pivot charts, and that is exactly what I'm going to be doing today. As you can see here, this is a clean data. I had my stat summaries, visuals, and all of that. But that's not what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go directly to actually create 4 pivot tables. And how about I just go here first and create the first pivot table. And there are a lot of things to see here. There are unit price here, starting from here, which we have invoice, we have branch, we have cost, city, customer type, gender, product line, and down to where you have customer ratings. So this is actually a supermarket data set. So that's where you're seeing rating, gross margin percentage, gross income, and all of that. You're seeing payment, you're seeing sales, and yeah, and of course the number of quantities, product line, and all of that, gender, and all of that. So that's because this is actually a supermarket, and this supermarket is tax abiding. I mean, it's law abiding, and that's what you can see here. Tax column is actually indicated here. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and create a pivot table. Pivot table, and from the pivot table, I'm obviously going to, you know, create this pivot charts that we have, and I'm going to do it for several on different worksheets to make this very easy and fast. So the data range, as is asking me here, obviously the data range is the whole data range here, which is I'm going to come back here and kind of click everything, and this is it. All right, I don't know why it was asking me the data range, but of course once you click your pivot table, as far as you actually and has your cursor on one of these cells, you go to your inserts, you click pivot table. All right, it's going to automatically bring out this and this here, this pivot table field to be here, and you are having pivot table 1 here. To build a report, choose fields from the pivot table field list, and this is where the field list is. So obviously what I want to be doing for this first pivot table is to create quantity, I mean to see how the quantity is being distributed across the genders. So I'm just going to click on my quantity. My quantity is a value, so it's going to be on the value column here, and then the gender. The gender is going to be in the rows form. So it shows that this is the distribution of my quantities sold for this supermarket according to gender, right? So, and this is very simple, and I'm not going to do anything here just because I want to show you how to run these things, and I want to do some of this thing repetitively for 4 pivot table and 4 pivot charts. So this is the first way of creating a pivot table. Right now I'm just gonna go ahead to create my pivot chart, and you can just go to the tab, it's still in insert, and you can come down to pivot chart and click pivot chart here, and this is automatically what I want to do. So I do not need, I just need this clustered column. Having a line column doesn't just show something, right? So it's just gonna remain on the column. If you say bar, kind of the same thing, but yeah, I kind of prefer the column. How about pie? No, that's not what we want to do, because what we want to compare is here just categories, female and male according to number. So I'm just going to click OK, and once I click this OK, and this table is going to automatically form here. So I'm going to change this total to rebel that to quantity by gender, quantity by gender. And I would like to actually copy this again because it's going to be needed somewhere. So this is it. So this is my pivot chart from this pivot table for comparing my how the distributions in terms of the categories of male and females, how much quantities who is buying most of the quantities. So you can see that the females are buying most of the quantity. Give it up for the females with over 8,000 margin of quantities, right? And obviously this could be count, but I think I can obviously leave this here because what we are trying to do is obviously very simple, and so we can obviously see it by count. And even if you do it by count, this is what you are going to get by count of quantity. So but I want to leave it on the sum because every other thing I'm going to be doing will be left on the sum. All right, sum of quantities. All right, that will be very great. Okay, so I'm going to change this sheet number to this. I'll be renaming it to quantity by, you know, gender, and that's all. So I'm going to be doing this repetitively for, four more. So I'm going to pause this video and do the rest, so I couldn't take your time, but obviously it's the same thing, and I'm going to show you once I'm done. Hang on. Alright guys, so we're back here. So this is the first pivot table and pivot chart we created, which is total sales by branch. Alright, so this is perfect. Shows this is branch Alex, Cairo, and Giza. So this guy has the highest number of total sales, right? And going down to total sales by customer type, actually the females are buying more. Sorry, customer types here. The members are buying more than the normal customers. Of course, members are actually loyal. And total sales by branch, Giza is actually having highest number of total sales, because if you compare with you know if you compare all of this together, these this you can see the column of Giza is actually higher. I mean, this is evidently anyone could obviously see that. Then let's look at the customer rating by branch. Customer rating by branch. I mean, Giza that is even performing much better in terms of total sales is now actually having the highest number of customer rating. So customer rating does not convert to total sales. So this is it. Alex is having to do so. So the next thing to do here is obviously to kind of to create a dashboard for all of these, and just to show you how Slicer can be used to control all of these things, because Slicer can actually connect all of this, and once it connects all of this, you could see that it's very perfect. It's easy to actually analyze your chart from there. So I'm just going to name this dashboard, right, because this is like my total dashboard for all of that I did. So I'm going to come here, copy all of this, copy this, go to my dashboard, and just kind of arrange it in a grid format. All right, this is coming up very good. So this is perfect. Then go to the next one, which is to the sales by branch. The sales by branch is this, so I'm just going to obviously copy this too and take that to my dashboard. I'm just going to just place it beside this guy, and this is how it's going to look. And the next guy will be trying to get total sales by customer type, right? And just copy this too, and then go back to dashboard and place it. All right, and let's remove this guy. All right, so I guess I should just have to remove this guy for me to see what I'm doing carefully. All right, now this is it. So place this guy down below here, and we're done with this. What next? Go back to the last, which is quantity. Sorry, first quantity by gender. So this is the chart for that. And of course, I'm gonna still place the same in the dashboard. Where's my dashboard? Here we go. All right, I didn't place that way. I'm gonna do it that way. Okay. All right, so here we go. So I'm just going to draw this. Take this down a bit. Kind of allow them to kind of align. Alright, looks a bit better. Okay, so this is what we have. Alright, kind of looks perfect now. Alright, since all of this is done, the next thing we're going to do is obviously just to go to pivot analyze. Then you have to look for inside slicer. So insert slicer here, and the slicer we want to use to look at, I mean, it could actually be very important to know what you are doing with slicer, because slicer helps you to actually like see inside or deep into all the dashboards. It helps you to connect multiple dashboards and see through them by using a particular factor that affect all of them. Of course, let me just use payment. Okay, using payment here, what it means is that here, if I click cash or credit card or e-wallet, I can be able to see how each of these are, determines the customer rating in this place, determine customer rating here by all of this dashboard. But before that, I have to kind of right click here and try to kind of report connections. So all of these are my reports. So but what I want to do right now is to connect them together. Very important. So as you can see here, this is the name of my table and this is the name of my sheets, and I'm connecting this quantity by gender, and I'm also connecting customer rating, and I'm also connecting this guy to the sales by branch as well. And the next one is connecting to the sales by customer type. I'm not connecting the visuals or other things, so but this is just what I want to connect. And so this is perfect. I just click all the connections and click OK. So right now I can just click cash, right? So this is showing that if I'm trying to look at customer rating by brand, these are the number of people that use cash. The number of people that use cash in Giza. These are their ratings here. The rating here is actually higher, in this branch, and these are the number of people. All of these guys, Cairo, Alex, and Giza, all of those that participate in this customer rating are those who are using cash. Let's look at credit card. Okay, this is credit card. So customer ratings of those who use credit card by using the slider shows that Cairo has the highest customer rating in terms of number among all of these guys. How about e-wallet? E-wallets, Alex branch, the branch managed by Alex, has the highest customer rating. Going back to this, looking at all of these things, you could obviously do the same thing by analyzing here total sales by branch. Even if Alex has the highest rating, according to this branch also, he also had the total sales according to those who are using e-wallet. If you look at the quantity by gender, females are leading here too, normal members as well here. Let's look at cash. Yeah, cash here in Giza has customer rating by branch here, has having the highest rating from those who use cash, and it shows also that they have the total sales highest total sales revenue by branch here, and it shows that the number of females here also male, I mean females, and here also members. It shows that obviously you could obviously see that it's corresponding. Customer ratings is kind of corresponding to total sales according to those brands. Let's look at credit card. All right, credit card, the same thing. Cairo has the highest number of customer rating and also the highest total sales by branch, right? And these two guys are obviously remaining the same. It seems that none of this is changing, but this is just the power of slicer, and it tells us how these guys are actually done. I hope you've learned how slicer can be used, and you could obviously do a lot of things. So if I wanted to go back, I'll just come to this funnel and this filter and clear the filter, right? And so we're back at how it was before. So before now, you could see that Alex has the highest rating, but then Giza actually has a total number, the highest number of sales, total sales by branch, right? So it's kind of good that we look at this in terms of the cash, credit, and e-wallet payment systems. All right, I hope you learned one or two, and maybe I should do a video on how I cleaned my data set, and created my stats summary and visuals and distributions. Of course, I should do that. Very important. All right, so you guys should have a very good day and enjoy.